This week in the Southern Discourse Kitchen, we're making this 9x13 family-sized version of Dairy Queen's Buster Bar dessert. So let's get started. Hi, I'm Stacy and welcome to my kitchen. I'm super excited because we're about to make up a little piece of Americana. When some people hear about all-American desserts, they're thinking apple pie, but I'm thinking about this layered ice cream treat. So let's jump right into it with these ingredients. We've got 12 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate chips, 2 cups of powdered sugar, a pound of red skin salted Spanish peanuts, a half gallon of vanilla ice cream, 2 sticks of butter, evaporated milk, and Oreos or chocolate sandwich cookies. So we're over here at the stove top because the first thing that we're gonna do is make our chocolate topping. Now, when I say that the chocolate topping or the chocolate sauce is what this dessert is all about, y'all, I am not kidding. Sometimes I get some questions about, can I just substitute with the jarred hot fudge? It is not gonna be the same. This has a homemade cooked chocolate flavor. It's like a cross between an ice cream sauce and a frosting. You're not gonna wanna miss this. So we've got our evaporated milk and our powdered sugar. We're gonna add these semi-sweet chips and 1 stick or a half a cup of butter. And I'm gonna slice up this butter because it just melts a whole lot easier and a lot quicker if it's in little pieces. Now I've got my whisk here, and we're just gonna stir a little bit while the chocolate melts and the butter. And we've got that heat low. It's just on a medium low right now. It's not gonna take a lot to get these ingredients to come together. Just a little patience and a little whisking. Now I've got to tell you guys how I first came across this recipe. Like so many of my recipes, I was at a Wednesday night church dinner. And I know some of you may be asking, what is your deal with church potluck recipes? I'm telling y'all, back in the day, church potluck recipes wasn't let me run by the store and grab some fried chicken or grab some rolls or a bag of chips. It was when all of the ladies brought out their best recipes. Everybody had a signature dish. And if you were lucky enough, it would end up in the spiral-bound church cookbook that we published once a year. So church potluck was where you went to eat the South's best. Our chocolate sauce has almost come together. Look at how nice and shiny it's getting. That butter is going to continue to melt. Chocolate can scorch pretty easily, but as long as you're looking at it, it's not hard to do and it's going to be delicious. The payoff is huge. So you guys see where it's starting to bubble a little bit? This is all that you need before you turn down that heat to just a simmer. Come back and stir every minute or two. Don't let a lot of time pass. And we're just gonna let this cook for 10 minutes. So one of the last things I like to do before I take this chocolate sauce off of the stovetop is take a spoon and just dip it in, give it a minute to cool off, and give it a taste. That way, if it has scorched during the cooking process, now is the time to start over, not when you've poured it over the top of the rest of your dessert. So now that our chocolate sauce is finished and it's cooling, we're gonna move on to our chocolate cookie crust. Now, you can do this in your food processor with just a few pulses. I'm gonna do it the old school way because I just like to. And that means putting it in a Ziploc bag and using either a rolling pin or a meat tenderizer and just mushing them up. So I'm gonna get out all the air. And get out all of your aggression from the week. And then you give it a few rolls. All right, so the great thing about this method is you don't have anything to clean up afterwards and you get out a little stress. So a bonus. And your cookies, they don't have to be mashed up into fine crumbs. There can be some some crumbles, some bigger pieces, that is okay. You just don't want anything too large. So this is probably the largest of a piece that I'd want to have. I really don't want to have anything bigger than that. And we just spread it out, breaking up any little pieces that we need. And you see it's not a fine crumb. And then we've got a half a cup of butter, and we're just going to pour it over the top here. To finish up this crust, I'm just going to toss the cookies in the butter a little bit. You really don't have to do this step. It's just a little extra something that I like to do. I want to make sure that that butter gets all over these cookies, because when we put this in the freezer, it's the butter that's going to hold it together when it gets cold again. I use the hand a little bit just to make sure it's kind of smushed all down in there. And then we're going to take our vanilla ice cream, and this has been sitting out while we cooked our chocolate sauce, so it's gotten nice and soft. And we're going to spoon some large dollops across the top of our 9 by 13 pan. Okay, so this is how we're going to make our ice cream layer. You see that ice cream is nice and soft. It's easy to scoop. We're not worried about spreading it, because when we spread it, all of the cookies and the ice cream is just going to get mixed up together. And we really want to have a nice layered dessert. We're going to use that whole half gallon of ice cream. And then we're going to take the back of our spoon, and we're just going to kind of smooth it or work that ice cream together to get a nice even layer. So another little trick that can help you get a nice smooth ice cream layer, especially when some parts are still really stiff like this, is just like they do at the ice cream shop. You can dip your spoon into water, or maybe like you would do when you were icing a cake. And this is going to help the top of that ice cream move a lot more easily. And you can dip more than once if you need to. Got some cookies that want to float up right there. Just going to cover them up. And when you've got a nice solid layer of your ice cream, you're going to come in with your Spanish peanuts. And they still have the skin on them. They're salted. And we're going to spread them across the top. Just a nice thin layer. So when you get all of your peanuts nice and spread out across the top of your dessert, then you can pop this 9 by 13 into your freezer. We're going to let that ice cream firm up a little bit. We're going to let our chocolate sauce continue to cool, and then we'll be ready for the next step. So it's been about 30 minutes, and our ice cream is set and our sauce is cooled off. So let's go ahead and top this dessert. And now we're just going to use our spatula, and we're just going to massage it or push it to the edges. Again, we do not really want to get our layers mixed up, so we want to be gentle as we're moving this sauce around and just pushing it from one edge to the next. And look at how shiny it is. Oh, it smells so good. Like I said before, this is kind of like a cross between an ice cream topping and a cake frosting. This is a step that you're not going to want to miss. We're not going to shortcut the chocolate sauce. All right, so we are going to put this back in the freezer. In about an hour or two, you can serve it, but it's really best if you let it freeze overnight. So here is a Buster Bar dessert that I made last night, so I can show you guys the finished slices today. I made half of the recipe. It's a really easy recipe to half, and I put it in an 8x8 pan. This is perfect for a family anywhere from 4 to 6 people. So this is a perfect serving size. And we're gonna try to slice it. It's still frozen, so it's gonna be hard to get out of the pan. But I'm gonna put my knife in some really hot water here, in the glass and let it warm up. And we'll try to get us a slice or two. Guys, look at these layers. Look at how delicious that is. We've got our cookie crust, that nice ice cream layer, some peanuts are poking out, and look at that chocolate topping. This is what makes your dessert homemade. So y'all, this little piece of Americana deliciousness, you're not gonna wanna miss. We're talking about pool parties, birthdays, potlucks, cookouts, all of the summer holidays. This is gonna have you covered. If you like recipes like this, then don't forget to subscribe, not just to the YouTube channel, but to southerndiscourse.com, where I'm always cooking up all the Southern food that you know and love. From the kitchen to the table, I've got you covered.